Hi everyone, this is Sensei Dion from Smo's Monocune Arts, and I am about to give my analysis and elaborate on the UFC 239. And I'm not going to elaborate on the card itself, but on a specific fight that I was looking forward to between two of my favorite fighters, which I said before the card started that this fight was going to steal the show, steal the card. I just wasn't expecting it to steal the card like it did. Jorge Masvidal versus Ben Askren. Guys, I know this is going to upset a lot of fans, a lot of UFC fans or whatever, but I don't care. Guys, that fight was fixed. That's right, you heard it here. The Jorge Masvidal and Ben Askren fight was fixed. It was fixed from the get-go, and it was fixed all the way up until that flying knee you saw on Askren. That ended up being the fastest knockout in UFC history. Where do I even begin? Guys, you know, Ben Askren talked so much shit before the fight happened, and, you know, Jorge Masvidal was kind of silent on social media, whatever, you know. Guys, I gotta ask you guys a question here. I'll ask anyone a question. Ben being one of the top 3 wrestlers in the world, how in the world do you not see that flying knee coming a mile away? Like, I just don't get it. Like, how in the world, you being one of the top 3 tier wrestlers in the world, don't see that flying knee coming a mile away? Like, if you watch the fight, you watch it up close from a 360 angle, whatever angle you see it from, Jorge Masvidal literally, it's like something. Okay, let's think about it like this. You guys remember seeing The Karate Kid? Love that movie. It's one of my favorite movies ever. But it's like when Danielson did that to end, you know, against Johnny. He did that that flying he did that you know, he did the, you know, he did that kick where, of course, Johnny ran into and he kicked him, and then he wins the tournament. Like, that's what it kind of reminded me of. And to me, it was just like, how do you not see, like, Jorge Masvidal literally ran full force, got, you know, and when he got to Askren, he got the knee into the temple or wherever he hit him. Now, guys, listen. If you guys go back and watch closely, Ben Askren goes for the takedown. But where does he go for the takedown at? The legs. The legs. after he sees Jorge running a mile away, getting ready, the motions are coming up, and he sees that knee coming. And Ben Askren just magically goes for the takedown, runs into the knee for the knockout. Come on, guys. Guys, this fight was fixed, man. You know, listen. I've watched the footage in and out. I don't know if Ben Askren knew that knee was coming. And they told him, they said, listen, the way Askren went for the takedown, it's almost like he purposely went into that knee that knocked him out. Like, the way he went for the takedown, if you watch Ben Askren's eyes, he sees the knee and immediately puts his head down and goes into Jorge Masvidal for the takedown. He gets knocked out. Now, there's an argument where say, well, he probably thought he could take the knee. He's taken so many hard hits in his career, he probably thought he could take the knee. And, no, that's not what happened. This fight was fixed for Jorge Masvidal because one of a few reasons. One, if you look at the Las Vegas odds, who did everyone and their mother bet on to win this fight because of his wrestling? There you have it. Ben Askren. Ben Askren was favorited heavily in this fucking bout. Everyone I looked at the Las Vegas odds. Everyone and their brother voted for Ben Askren for this fight. So that's one of them. And two, you got Ben Askren, who's undefeated. So everyone's like, oh, Ben Askren's undefeated. His wrestling is subpar. He's the top 3 in the USA. He's going to win this fight. Like, no one expected this fight to end the way it did. And that's where the UFC needed some kind of controversy or whatever. And that's where this fight was fixed. Let's keep it going further. Ben Askren was on the Ariel Helwani show. That analyst who likes to talk about MMA but really knows nothing about MMA, but like he's just a fan, you know what I mean? Guys, I don't know about you guys, but Ben Askren just looked unfazed in that interview. Like, Ben Askren looked like, mind you, it's Monday now. The fight was on Saturday when he got knocked out. The guy looked unfazed. Ben Askren's in the interview like nothing even happened. He's like, oh, you know what, yeah, shout out to Jorge. I'm gonna get a title shot if it wasn't for him. Like, the guy looks unfazed. Like he either knew what was going to happen in that fight, or he's just that mentally strong. And Ben Askren is a mentally strong fighter, one of the best, if not the best mentally out there. But to me, when you get off a loss like that, for you to get in an interview with one of the, in an interview where you just look unfazed, like, nothing even happened, is just very suspicious to me. At one point in the interview, Ariel Helwani asked, did you anticipate the flying knee at the beginning of the match? And Ben Askren goes, I actually, you know, I knew there was some knees coming. You know, I knew there was some knees coming. You know, I was planning some dukes, some dodges, and he's like, you know, I knew there was some knees coming, but like, you know, I was thinking in my head, who in the, you know, why would somebody practice a flying knee? Because who in their right mind wouldn't see a flying knee coming a mile away? Guys, he knew the flying knee was coming. Ben Askren is one of the top 3-tier wrestlers in the world. He knew the flying knee was coming. The fight was orchestrated. The fight was rehearsed. And the fight was fixed. You know, no disrespect to Jorge. Jorge Masvidal is one of the best fighters out there, but the fight was fixed. You know what I mean? Ben Askren knew it. Jorge knew it. You know what I mean? The fight was fixed. You know, and so, like, you know, it's just crazy to me. Like, it was just one of the, you know. And I'm gonna end this video again like this. You know, you guys watch from every angle. Watch the fight. Watch the angle from Jorge Masvidal putting the knee in Ben Askren's head. If you watch the top angle, Jorge Masvidal kind of pulls back his knee a little bit to where you can tell he didn't hit him as hard as he did. To me, it was a great acting job on Ben Askren's part. It's he either really knocked him out or it was really good acting. But I've watched every single view, and being a top 3-tier wrestler, there is no way in hell you go for a takedown right in front of the right knee where you clearly see he's about to knee you in the head. Come on now. The fight was fixed.